On top of our stories. Talks on kids' online data privacy, digital protection held. Seniors BVAP community outreach drives. Different school clubs take off. ICT head codes Quantum's immersive learning via AR, VR, MR. Philippine debt under Duterte administration. Filipino pride Leila Fernandez on becoming tennis star player. Brightest stars showed off at Met Gala 2021. Reaching out to you straight from the Quantum Academy. This is Quantum Lead.
Talks on kids' online data privacy, digital protection held. On September 15, 2021, the Lower School Department of the Quantum Academy conducted a discussion on some of the most crucial components of a good online learning environment: data privacy and digital protection. As one of the guest speakers, here is what Teacher Donna has to say about the event.
As one of the guests for the show, I must admit it was quite nerve-wracking because I'm not sure if we'll get a positive feedback afterwards. Fortunately, we were able to pull it off smoothly and everything went well. Offering the TQA community with this new kind of experience is quite challenging and at the same time fulfilling because it gave us a new opportunity to be more creative in imparting new pieces of information and learnings. As we have mentioned from the show, it is for everyone's protection and safety from any forms of fraud. Now that most of our activities in school are done online, we have to strengthen more our campaign in protecting our personal information in accordance to data privacy law.
It is only the second year since the online platform became the medium of instruction in education. Because of this, the Quantum Academy found it beneficial to hold such a discussion.
This new experience for both students and teachers or in TQA community in general is quite challenging yet extremely exciting. Events like the TQA All-In can be a great platform to deliver teachers' lessons to the learners. Though teachers are not used to face the camera, they have no choice. They need to because this is the new normal in education. They do this all for the learners since this is the new strategy in teaching. The preparation time is, quite exhausting for our teachers due to technical difficulties. Fortunately, our teachers are getting used to this and somehow learning to find different alternatives in delivering their lessons. Hopefully, the students find it exciting too. Quantum has always been compliant with the Data Privacy Act of 2012. This is very important in TQA because this is for the protection and safety of the quantum community, especially to the students and the teachers who are having their classes online in this time of pandemic. That is why our reminders are constant when it comes to data privacy and digital protection. As one of the leaders of this school, I personally believe that the more you know about data privacy, the better you will be able to protect yourself from the large number of risks it brings. It is always part of our campaign to educate our young learners about this law.
The faculty and staff of the Quantum Academy, including Teacher Nems, the lower school principal, sees how important data privacy is. They also are aware of the responsibility that they have as a school that aims to provide quality education to its learners. These were only some of the things elaborated in the said event.
Yes, that is why I encourage FAQ kids to keep their active participation in our online events like this. I assure them that we have a lot more to offer.
Holding the interdisciplinary discussion is a way of ensuring the students and the parents in the TQA community that despite the risks of being presented by having online classes, the school values the children's safety above everything else. The school will always make sure that the students are able to learn amidst the pandemic with no worries. When asked if there will be another event like this in the future, Teacher Donna responded.
For sure! We're actually planning out more exciting shows in the coming days, and we're looking forward that by doing such, we can deliver more informative and worthwhile shows for our kids while they enjoy or they are still not allowed to go out of their homes.
Q Kids, stay tuned for more updates. This is Lay Angelo Valencia taking the lead.
Seniors beef up community outreach drives. For school year 2021 to 2022, the Quantum Academy is holding another one of its annual outreach programs. This year's program, however, is a little different from those done in the past.
Even if there's no pandemic, the school undertakes an outreach programs and donation drives to deepen students' awareness and understanding of the realities of poverty as experienced by the poor. Through exposure and involvement in various activities for the target communities the school chooses. A small package of products, sleepers, and food bring them a great relief and bring smiles to their faces. As a result, it is even more important or essential to hold donation drives during the pandemic. Filipinos have a strong feeling of resiliency, which we cannot dispute. However, we can accomplish this word if we support and assist each other, especially our kababayans who are in need and impacted by the pandemic. This is the authentic Bayanihan spirit. In fact, the grade 12 class, in collaboration with the Student Council, devised a variety of outreach programs and activities. We have the Brigada Escuela, which is our first activity. And next would be the Adopt a Community. And then we have a community pantry and of course a series of medical webinars.
Like Teacher Al, our upper school principal, said the pandemic has affected the lives of many Filipinos. It has changed the way we communicate, the way we study, the way we think, the way we do our daily tasks, and even the way we travel. One wrong move and we are exposed to the risk of contracting the virus. So why have these donation drives if they can put the students' safety in danger? Here is Teacher Al's answer.
If there's a will, there's a way, as the saying goes. Even though the IATF has imposed some restrictions and standards, we continue to undertake an outreach program. These limitations will not prevent us from pursuing and holding outreach events this year if we follow the safety standards and requirements by IATF, such as observing social distancing, wearing a face mask and face shield, and etc. And also, By this activity, we need to be systematic to reduce the number of superfluous acts and wrongdoings, because in this activity, our health is our top priority. And we know that health is wealth.
Because of this, the grade 12 class, together with the student council, came up with a series of community service projects.
One of the ways that we have prepared for the upcoming drives is that the Quantum Academy has given the grade 12 batch permission to conduct their own programs or join pre-existing programs, wherein the common goal is to help out other people or reach out to other communities outside of the campus. Not only outside of the campus, but inside the campus as well, who are in need because of the circumstances of the day. As a part of the many programs which will be implemented during the school year, one of which is already instigated, and that is the Brigada Escuela program. Now, in this program, it involves the systematic and organized donation of school supplies and hygienic products to the students of our chosen schools. Now, we have named this program the Handog Liwayway program because it means to shed light, wherein we're shedding light to children of our chosen school. Now, this isn't the only program that we are going to implement during the school year. Hopefully, we will be able to implement the other programs as well, which include the community pantries, the Adopt Community, and Home for the Ages, and some webinars which will be useful for the campus so that we can give knowledge to the student, we can give info to the students of what they can expect for their future.
Ahmed Al-Ziyad, the grade 12 class president, shared that there will be not only one, but at least 4 outreach drives. To be called Handog Liwayway, the first event is a Brigada Escuela project. Donations will be gathered and distributed to 3 schools, namely the New Mabuhay Elementary School, the Mambukal Elementary School, and the SPED Integrated School. Donations for this activity will be welcome starting September 17th to September 30th.
For the Brigada Escuela Outreach Program, which is our first activity for this school year, we will be needing school supplies and hygienic materials or hygienic products, as you can see in our poster. So these school supplies and hygienic products will be distributed to our 3 recipient schools. And to ensure enough donations, the committee decided to make this one as a house competition for a cause. So every donated item has a corresponding point. So the total accumulated points of each house will be ranked. So first place will get 100,000 house points, second place 75,000 house points, and third place 50,000 house points, and for the fourth place 25,000 house points. So in short, there will be a 25,000 house points interval for each rank. So Q-Kids Quantum Community, this is a competition for a cause.
The poster containing all the information regarding the Brigada Escuela are posted on the Quantum Academy's Facebook private page and on Microsoft Teams.
For my expectations of the upcoming drives, all that I expect is that each and every goal of each program is reached. Because the programs have a very common goal, a very simple common goal, and that is to bring people and communities back up on their feet and bring them to the light. That is all that we need to do. And we have been given the power to be able to achieve that. So there are no excuses if we could not reach the goal. If we did not reach the goal, there are no excuses because we have been given the power to be able to donate to others so that they can get back up on their feet and reach the light. That is all I expect of these upcoming drives.
After the Brigada Escuela, more events such as a Home for the Aged program, a community pantry, an Adopt a Community activity, and some medical webinars will come up. So stay tuned for exclusive updates, only here in the Quantum Leap. This has been Gea Josen B. Palalay taking the lead.
The Quantum Academy started its online recruitment for school clubs on September 20, 2021. These school clubs will be of great help for future college admissions, certifications, recommendations, and for extra and co-curricular activities. Therefore, all students ranging from grade 9 to grade 12 in the Quantum Academy are required to join at least 2 school clubs. There is a total of 6 school clubs. The first is the Student Council. It will be divided into 2 parts, the Community Outreach and the Quantum Houses. The second is the ICT and Digital Arts Club, which consists of the Lower School Digital Arts Club and the Upper School ICT and Digital Arts Society. The third is the Quantum Mechanics Club for students grades 4 to 12. The fourth, the Arts and Crafts Club, will consist of students from grades 1 to 6 only. There will also be a hip-hop K-pop virtual club for students in grades 7 to 12. And the last one is this, the Quantum Leap. However, applications for this school club are now closed. There is a maximum number of members for certain clubs. The Lower School Digital Arts Club will only accept 25 members, while the ICT and Digital Arts Society will accommodate 35. The rest of the clubs will not impose such limits. A president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer must be elected for each school club. Pupils from grades 1 to 3 may only join one club, pupils from grades 4 to 6, 2, and students from grades 7 to 12 up to 3. Joining a club may exempt members from assessments or school requirements, and outstanding members will be acknowledged. Active involvement and great attendance will be the basis for this. There are specific rules and regulations for each club, and violating one of them may result in the termination of club membership. Q Kids, looking forward to your active participation. This is Nero Emmanuel Sirigolio taking the lead. ICT Head decodes Quantum's immersive learning via AR, VR, and MR. Nowadays, the COVID-19 pandemic is unarguably the toughest obstacle every school must overcome, as it prohibited everyone from continuing the normal schooling system. One reason as to why the Quantum Academy stands out among the schools in General Santos City is the quality teaching it offers, despite the pandemic. Although it seemed like a lost cause, Quantum attempted to take a risky approach and proceeded to introduce the immersive learning for school year 2020 to 2021. With this school year being the second year that requires the use of the online mode of learning, it could be said that Quantum's grasp on the immersive learning system is tight. So much so that they are even applying AR, VR, and MR tools for students to use and for teachers to teach with.
The school's immersive learning focuses mainly on AR and VR, augmented reality and virtual reality. The augmented reality that comes with the basics of 3D immersive designing, which is available both in Class VR and Merge EDU platforms. The Class VR here and Merge EDU with its web-based application, the Merge Miniverse, have a growing library of 360 degrees photos and videos that are a great way to give our students unique experiences by allowing them to visit different museums around the world, see historical monuments, and bring history back to life, even life in planet.
Said Teacher Charity, Quantum's ICT head. To differentiate the two, augmented reality uses a real-world setting, while virtual reality setting is completely virtual. Aside from these, there is another kind called mixed reality, or MR for short, which has the characteristics of both AR and VR.
I think the school or Teacher Cosette has been planning to implement immersive learning even before the pandemic. However, since no one of us were prepared for the COVID-19 pandemic and how it greatly affected us, the focus last year was still on how to deliver quality education in distance learning. Like what platform or learning management system will be used for delivering online teaching or online classes, what features of this platform or what features must be included in the platform I think that suits best for the TQA. These were the focused last school year.
This was Teacher Charity's response to why AR, VR, and MR tools were just accessible this year and not last school year. Everyone in the TQA community had to learn the basics and to see whether or not immersive learning was the right path for Quantum. Apps such as the Class VR, Merge EDU, and Object Viewer all have either AR or VR qualities within them. With these apps and many more to come, Quantum seems to be taking this challenge on with ease, giving Q kids quality education even with the ongoing pandemic. This is Nir Emmanuel Sirigoglio giving you news updates and taking the lead.
Today's news bulletin. Philippine debt by time Duterte is gone. Will there be parting ways? With voting registrations open and the elections up and coming, there is no better time to reflect on the supposedly most influential figure in our government, President Rodrigo Duterte. Finishing his 6-year reign in our government, Duterte steps down in 2022, leaving a staggering 13.42 trillion pesos in Philippine debt that may even increase as the country fights off COVID-19. According to the national government, gross borrowings for 2022 will be smaller than this year's 3.7 trillion peso allowance, and that we should be expecting a further decline in 2023 with a 2.31 trillion peso program. The government will continue to borrow more from the domestic debt market. The debt market, according to eFinanceManagement.com, is where investors buy and sell debt securities, mostly in the form of bonds. Back to what I was saying, we have a share of 81% this year, 77% next year, and 75% in 2023. The documents of the proposed 5.24 trillion 2022 budget did not specify an amount for short-term loan from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. However, National Treasurer Rosalia De Leon said the government, and I quote, did not say that there will be no more BSP borrowings. It depends. She added that the BSP facility was still available next year and that for this year, the national government got a 540 billion peso zero-interest loan from the Bangko Sentral. To repay for such debt, the national government will settle 1.29 trillion pesos in liabilities, or in simpler words, what we owe back this 2022. The pandemic has definitely affected the economy of the Philippines. In response to this, the Duterte administration had committed to impose no new taxes or even increase existing ones. Instead, they turned to privatization to raise our money and repay growing debts. A gentle reminder for eligible citizens to register, vote, and vote wisely. This is Samantha Benzanan taking the lead.
Good day. This is Quantum Leaf's weather forecast. As tropical storm Kiko passes Visayas and Luzon, leaving many devastated homes with its wind and the floods it caused, it still left its little remnants here in Mindanao. In terms of wind, majority of wind direction for the last week of September will be east to southeast bound with an average speed of 3.5 kilometers per hour. While for the first week of October, the wind direction will mostly be west to southwest bound with an average speed of 3.4 kilometers per hour. With that being said, there will be an average of 60% chance of precipitation, bearing a total of at least 51.3 millimeters of rain. According to Pag-asa, Mindanao is to be affected by the Intertropical Convergence Zone as it enters the low-pressure area in the Philippines' area of responsibility. For the next 10 days, there will be an average of 32.2 degrees in high and 22 degrees in low. So my fellow Q kids, don't forget to bring your umbrellas as well as your raincoats when heading out. What are the impacts of climate change on fisheries? As we all know, 93% of heat accumulated in the Earth's atmosphere and a quarter of the carbon dioxide released from fossil fuels is absorbed by the oceans. Calcification becomes more abundant for marine organisms such as shrimps, oysters, and corals, making it harder for them to form their shell due to the rising ocean temperature and increased acidity. The entire marine food web is in jeopardy. If a crack in the food chain occurs, the distribution, productivity, and species composition of global fish production will change as estuaries and sea grass beds that provide habitats and nursery areas for fish will be damaged. While the ocean is affected by climate change, fish stocks are also affected. Climate change effects will bring shifts in the distribution of marine fish stocks, with some areas benefiting while others lose out. In the past 30 years, marine heat waves are estimated to have increased by more than 50%. Globally, ocean temperatures are predicted to increase by 1 to 4 degrees Celsius by 2100. Now, with those high numbers, it may be impossible for our ocean to bounce back to its old state. However, there are certain things we can do to help delay the inevitable. First is by adopting more precautionary approaches to secure future fish stocks, and second is by joining movements or organizations that actively participate in supporting and protecting the ocean and the life within it. The ocean is also responsible for 80% of the oxygen on our planet. It is the very place that keeps us alive, and it asks in return its protection. So let us go hand in hand in protecting our ocean. We must always remember that no one can do everything, but everyone can do something. This is Lay Angelo Valencia giving friendly reminders and taking the lead.
Who is Phil-Canadian tennis star Leylah Fernandez? Filipino-Canadian Leylah Fernandez has interesting roots, as her father is a former professional football player of Ecuadorian descent, while her mother is a Canadian and proud to know that of Filipino origins. Fernandez is the second among 3 children, her older sister being a dentist, and her younger sister, who shares the same interest, is a tennis player as well. When Fernandez was 12 years old, she and her family moved to Florida in order for her and her younger sibling to concentrate and excel on their tennis careers. Did you know that Leylah started playing tennis at the age of 7? Although she jump-started her tennis career at a very young age, she suffered early setbacks. But with her father being Leylah's first coach, he mapped out ways for his daughter to develop techniques and improve her fitness. Fernandez burst into the professional tennis circuit in 2019 when she was 17 years old and captured her first professional title in the Gatineau Challenger. She made her women's Grand Slam debut in the 2020 Australian Open, but got knocked out at the opening round of the main draw. The Phil-Canadian rebounded with a third-round finish in the 2020 French Open and ended her 2020 US Open campaign in the third round. Recently came her biggest break so far in her career, where she was labeled as Grand Slam champion slayer in the just concluded 2021 US Open. Bagging this title meant defeating Naomi Osaka, the number 3 seed and defending champion, and Angelique Kerber, the number 16 seed and 2016 US Open champion, to name a few. After these resounding wins against the big guns, she played against Emma Raducanu in the finals. Unluckily, she ended losing the match. But despite the loss, there's a big chance that she can go far in her tennis journey. Certainly, Fernandez is playing the best game of her young career, and the fans have found their newly adopted favorite young star in the making. This has been Gea Josen B. Palalay, giving Sports Buzz and taking the lead.
The creator economy keeps growing, growing, growing. It has been estimated that the creator economy has amassed nearly $100 billion of revenue. Millions of users utilize content sharing platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, making them grow at a rapid rate. Due to the sudden shift of staying at home and limitation of social interaction, millions have found solace in these platforms, expanding both content creation and viewership into unknown territories like never before. Almost 50 million creators exist today, ranging from gaming streams, vlogs, commentaries, and yet aspiring creators are grappling to form their own community due to the lack of discoverability from big-wig platforms. Established creators who already have the popularity and exposure to leverage their audience to support their sponsorships or merchandise could only reap the benefit of making content creation into a full-time profession. The fast-paced nature of social media and its lack of stability places all creators at risk of losing relevancy over time. The creator economy refers to numerous businesses built by independent creators, from bloggers to influencers to writers, to monetize themselves, their skills, or their creations. They depend on the algorithms and trends in order to engage the community into brand deals, ads, product placements, and even paid subscriptions. It drives investors and businesses to rethink and reshape what engages the content creators' fan bases the most. But at the end of the day, this is a medium that gives so many diverse people a chance to create an income over hobbies and skills that they are truly passionate about. The Met Gala 2021, fashion's biggest night out. Popularly known as the Oscars of fashion, the Met Gala was held last September 13 at its usual location, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. Typically held on the first Monday in May, the event was held off due to, you guessed it right, COVID-19. But still, this did not stop artists of all genders and races to attend such a luxurious soiree in the city that never sleeps. As per the Associated Press, tickets to attend the gala cost at least $30,000 each. And when you multiply that to the 500 to 600 attendees per year, you're looking at $15 million all for charity. This year's theme was called In America, a lexicon of fashion, with which the stars' costumes must align to. And I've personally picked out 3 unforgettable looks that perfectly fit this year's motif. And sure enough, Kim K's outfit definitely did not make it to my list. Sorry, Kim. Lily Reinhardt. The actress from the show Riverdale looked like she was walking in a garden with her sheer pink corset covered in flower appliques that represented the official flowers from all 50 US states. The silky decorations were simply breathtaking, and kudos to the genius behind the gown, Christian Siriano. Billie Eilish. What's beautiful about Billie's dress is the agreement she made with the designer Oscar de la Renta, that she would wear it on one condition, that the brand will stop using animal fur forever. For her look, she was going for old Hollywood glamour. Think Marilyn Monroe meets 21st century. Debbie Harry. American singer-songwriter Debbie Harry struts the red carpet, nodding to the American flag in a look designed by Zach Posen. Judging from the pictures, looks like she's sporting a blue denim jacket, paired with a red and white skirt that gives the illusion of a battle-worn flag. Throw in the iconic white stars and you've got yourself the full ensemble. We would like to hear from the TQA community your opinions about what the celebrities wore to the event. As Anna Wintour, Met Chairwoman since 1995 said, create your own style. Let it be unique for yourself and identifiable for others. This is Samantha Benzanan bringing you pop dates and taking the lead.
Hello and good day.
Welcome to
POV, points
Opinions.
and views. Today's topic, kids' online data privacy and digital protection being held. Now, okay, I have a little question here. Since this topic mainly involves the kids and the students, how about the parents and guardians? How do you think they should react to this topic?
I think that the parents and guardians should be more protective and aware of the dangers in the online world, especially now that we regularly make use of social media and technology, and people can easily share personal information that can be used to identify these students, such as their full name and their student ID.
Yeah.
But what about you? What are your thoughts about this?
I'd say you have a really good point and I agree to it. But here's the thing, I would like to add something. I'd say that the online data privacy of kids should be more established, since nowadays we use technology as if it's a necessity, compared to the pre-pandemic days, of course. Since back in the pre-pandemic days, our necessities were merely just food, water, shelter, transportation, and due to immersive learning, we can now add technology into the mix. So I'd say that it should be more established, what I'm trying to say.
But when do you think a kid's online data privacy should be put into question?
That is a really good question, and I'm pretty sure that doesn't just apply to online data privacy. It should also apply to new processes that students will encounter. But for the online data privacy, I'd say that parents and guardians should start doubting it if their kids start acting in an unruly manner, or they start behaving in a way that they're not even supposed to. Because students, both young and old, but especially the younger levels, they can be exposed to things that they're not even supposed to. So if they grasp that information, then that would leave them thinking and behaving in a different way compared to their age group.
So I think it's best that we all comply with the Data Privacy Act for everyone's safety and security. I'm Gia Palalay.
And I'm Neo Regolio,
And this has been
POV.
Oh, hey kids! We are back in another episode of the Quantum Leap, where we talk about anything and everything that concerns us kids, as far as the moon and back. That's kind of far, huh? Anyways, my name is Isabella, and join me as we gear up for today's episode. Wait, I'm not properly geared up for today's episode. Hold on, thought. Hey sis, can you gear me up? Sure thing, wonderful. Let's see. Here it is. Luca Fabulosa. Really? Oops, sorry. Let me try it again. Luca Fabulosa. Seriously? Let's do it again. Luca Fabulosa. Alright people, now that I'm all tuned up for today, let's get the show on the road. For today's episode, we will be tackling about benefits of physical activity during distance learning. Hey, that's like PE class. This is going to be fun. So we begin with, what is distance learning? If you had to ask, according to Britannica.com, written by Michael Simonson, distance in simple definition, also called distance education, e-learning, and online learning. A form of elements include physical separation of teachers and students during instructions, and the use of various technologies to facilitate student-teacher and student-student communication, etc., etc. Let's simplify. I don't want to bore you with details. And just like everything else in this world, it has its own not so good effects on us kids. It is said that online learning affects physical activity. It presents a major risk on our emotional and physical health in the trend away from active sports and leading us towards a sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary what? That was tough. For short, teachers cut our online class shorter. Thank you for this, kids. But since our teachers are too stubborn to cut our school hours, don't worry, kids, I got your back. For today, I have the answer. Physical education, an essential component of the school curriculum, and students are promoted to maintain a healthy balance between their education and exercise, due to the fact that those students who take part in physical activities have proved to be happier and healthier than students who spend all their time doing schoolwork. Tell me about it. Before we move forward, let's bring a guest in the set to prove that physical activities can both be healthy and rewarding. Let's bring in the guest, please.
What happened?
Nothing happened, Kuya Yoro. I just wanted to talk to you about physical activities. Let's stop outside, shall we?
What's up?
A quantum leap, and luckily I found you, and you fit in.
What is it about? Valorant?
Nope.
So what is it?
About physical activities during online school.
Oh, okay.
So what can you say about it?
Well, usually in the morning when I wake up, I either do run or I bike. Or sometimes I do both in the morning, since during the afternoon, there's online class from 1 to 6. And then in the night, I rest and I do the exact same thing every day, except for Sunday since it's rest day.
Isn't school and studies an issue?
It is, but sometimes we just have to sacrifice more each day. And fortunately, our school helps us student athletes. And they find a way to go around the schedule to help us, especially during our trainings and competitions. Thanks, Sir Cosette.
But all that time and sacrifice for what?
Because in the end, hard work always pays off.
Oh, proud moment. Anyway, back to my topic. Why is it important for you to exercise while distance learning? 1. It relieves stress and helps with mental health. 2. They get more quality sleep. And 3. They perform better in school. Did you say sleep? In addition to 60 minutes of activities every day, children should also take several movement breaks from schoolwork. Teachers, the keyword is several movement breaks. So that is it for me, teachers. It is said that Roblox relieves stress and helps with mental health. Wait, I meant physical health. Bye and good night. For today's quote, the body heals with play, the mind heals with laughter, and the spirit heals with joy. That's it.
Knowledge is knowing what to say. This has been Samantha Benzonan.
Wisdom is knowing when to use knowledge. This has been Gea Josen B. Palalay.
Knowledge is power, but only wisdom is liberty. This has been Nero Emmanuel C. Rigolio.
I am Lay Angelo Valencia, and this has been Quantum Leap E-News, reaching out to you.